Amy, can you make the case for jobs with the programs that you're anticipating here? And since data is so much a component of what it is that you're doing, do jobs come along with that?
Sure. I think in two different ways. Number one, we spoke about education and some of the shortcomings we see in the United States. And some of the technical schools, vocational schools, huge opportunity in my space for programmers to use the data from the light point to derive analytics that can fuel better decision making. But when I think about jobs, I think about all the app developers that make the data useful. So you've got that, and you certainly have within the municipal in our space just more efficiencies that allow them to use their resources in different ways.
Is the hardware job a fundamentally different job than the software job, Marty? I mean, in other words, as this technology moves forward and the cities get smarter, are there going to be hardware jobs as well as software jobs?
Yeah, there's certainly implementation jobs. They're maybe not as long-lasting as the app developers who continue to refine. The jobs on the hardware side are probably more quick hits. There's a period of time, and then they move on. What's exciting is the early stage smart city hardware jobs fund further stage hardware jobs, and so it's an evolution. It's not the snap your fingers, it's a smart city. It's going to go in an incremental fashion. So I think the hardware technology jobs are somewhat long-lasting.
Well, I would say the other thing too is that the smart city concept, it influences design cycles in the hardware. So we have plug-and-play nodes so that you can connect to a lighting infrastructure information pathway with an existing luminaire, so that you kind of forego some of the additional hardware and things like that. So it's influencing design cycles as much as what you said. There's still plenty of opportunity in this first phase.
All right, so John, if I can jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's always important to anchor the key concepts that we're completely in agreement on with data facts. Barcelona, the most innovative city in the world, voted first in Europe and around the world. An entirely smart city that went with the whole architectural approach, not piecemeal. Lighting was a key part of it, the total systems integration. Moved in a period of 4 years, 2-year cycles on it, 42,000 jobs created. In the middle of Spain with a 20% unemployment, they ran a surplus. Most desirable place to open a business. Better utilization of assets of the cities. Smart garbage collection, smart parking, smart lighting. You transform that back to the 90s where Clinton did the first industrial, if you will, revolution with the internet. And everybody said the internet is not going to have this type of effect. And he said, no, it's going to create jobs, it's going to change GDP. And while it will destroy jobs, it will create many more jobs. Sound very familiar to our discussion today. Fast forward during these 8 years, basically 18% growth in real GDP growth, 17% growth in real per capita income for the average American. Last time average America got a pay raise was in 2000. The ability to create 22.5 million jobs. And so this is how you see smart countries, smart states, smart cities think about it. Job creation, best place to live, changing it, inclusive opportunities across the board with the facts behind it. Will there be job destruction? Unfortunately, yes. Will 40% of American companies disappear over the next decade? Absolutely. That speed of change is going to be breathtaking. This is where startups, new ideas must create the new jobs, and where we as a country, we're the only country in the world not only without a digital plan, we are not even talking about how we have to re-educate Americans, both the existing workforce for where the jobs of the future will be, because they will not be in traditional manufacturing or traditional infrastructure. And every other country is thinking about how do you generate the education for where the jobs will be in the future. So this is kind of a wake-up call for us as a country. It creates a tremendous opportunity for everybody in this room. It's an innovative cycle where you can suddenly displace other companies many times your size. And size, instead of being a competitive advantage, may actually be a disadvantage in this global world of connectivity.
It's true.
Now, because 40% of the businesses are going to go away, and because there is going to be job disruption and employment disruption, how do you prevent political institutions from playing defense where you've got existing constituencies, existing companies, existing companies who want the government to protect them, to keep them from going out of business. So instead of being on the innovative curve, the government shifts to defense to protect and stall as long as they possibly can the elimination of those 40% of companies and jobs, and get the government out on the front edge saying, all right, we have to jettison this gang and we got to bring this new gang in. How do you change that political message in the United States, particularly because they love to play defense there in Washington?
They do, but if I were to draw a parallel, the groups actually leading this change in Europe are the more left-leaning, democratic type organizations. In France, the socialists are leading the change. In Germany, Merkel's a key challenger on the socialistic side said, we have to re-educate our workforce. We know this is inevitable. This is a trend that will wait for no one. In India, you see the same type of changes. So this is where educating people, understanding the trade-offs, et cetera, will cause the rapid movement.
Is Chambers feeling the burn here? Wait a minute.
Well, there's a certain attraction that there is a part of the population that's very attracted to it.
But it goes back to also that I think you have to deal with life the way it is, not the way you wish it was. And anybody that thinks entitlement works in this new economy doesn't get it.